Alright, I'm back at the truck now. I decided just to back out of there. That bird done is he lost his hands for a little bit and he got fired up and started working his way to me. And I heard a hen come from behind me, some of those that I'd been hearing all morning. She circled around and went to him. He kind of got quiet again, so I feel like I could be aggressive and push and go around and get in the holler with him. I sure can go and go up to him. But I got to take Grayson to the dentist here in a little bit. And I know I got to in the morning to hunt too. And it's been a week since me and Grayson was in here on him, and he's still doing the same thing. So I feel like I can get in between him and the hens in the morning and have a chance at him. I love hunting turkeys like this. Like I said, I feel like I could be aggressive and get in there and probably kill him. Because the last time I done that, I got in a holler with him and had an encounter with him and could have killed him. But I love being on birds. The easy ones are fun too, but I love being on birds and it taking several days to kill him, kind of figure him out, pattern him. Because you can pattern these birds. As long as don't push it and don't spook them. I know if I don't spook a bird, then I've still got an opportunity at him. But every time you spook that bird, it makes him just a little smarter. He remembers that stuff. So I slipped out. I am going to drive around to the other side where I'm going to come in the morning and I'm going to look at that real quick before I go. Kind of get me a game plan. I dropped a pin on a ridge that I'm going to try to set up on, because I know he crossed it this morning going to the hens, and then I watched him cross it back. So he crossed that same ridge twice this morning. And I know I can set up there, and if he gets by me, I'll be able to swing around and get in the holler with him that they're in right now, that they stay in a lot. But that's what they do. They feed around out in that cutover till the morning winds get up. Like now, the wind's picking up. Once that wind picks up, they fall off in that bottom and stay out of the wind. But I'm gonna go around there and check that out. Nothing else, I'll be back here in the morning.
Side of this brush pile. I kind of had myself pinned in, so I couldn't tell really what I was sitting up in the dark. These birds, he pitched down out of the cutover, then he went back up the pines with the hens. But he finally does something different. He roosted with the hens last night instead of roosting separate from them. He's hung up right now. He hadn't moved in about an hour. He'll get fired up at times. I think his hands are starting to leave him. I ain't heard them talking back and forth anymore. He's working this way. I'm just gonna keep waiting him out. It was cool this morning. This cutover's damp. I think his son get up and dry it out. I think they'll filter through like they've been doing. But I'm just gonna hold tight. I got plenty of options for him set up if I need to move. Last time he gobbled, he was right on the edge of the cutover. I hadn't heard him in a little bit. I feel like he's out here in the cutover now. Usually when he gets quiet, he's moving.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Patience. Golly. I knew. It was a Jake. I thought there was a Jake with him. I knew. The last few times I've been on him, when they've gotten his cut over, them hens left him. And he'd got here on these ridges and he'd gobble until one or two of them would come back to him. And I just got on this ridge. I was right across the holler right here yesterday and watched him come out on this ridge right here. This is the same ridge that he was on the morning that somebody bumped him off, me and Grayson. I knew he'd get quiet, and when he would get quiet, he'd be moving. He'd get fired back up. I was sitting here. I hear a hen down there. But I was sitting here, and I just happened to look over my shoulder, and a hen come through right here behind me. I thought, yeah, he's coming. And sure enough, he got fired up down there, and I called to him. It wasn't just a little bit. I could see the top of his tail fan right here. And he come up here and looked on top of the ridge and didn't see nothing. He started back. And I called to him real soft, and I finally got him to gobble. And when he gobbled, I cut him off. And he dropped strut and come right up here. Whew, yes. I love getting on birds like this where you spend several days on them and kind of watch them, figure them out, get a little history with them. I knew he come right up his saddle like he did yesterday. I cut him off. When he gobbled, I cut him off, and he was fixing to come right up here in my lap. I think he saw me back the hammer right before I shot, or I let him come on. Whew, yes, man. Patience kills more turkeys. When he would quit gobbling, I wouldn't sit there and call to him. I didn't call much at all this morning. When he'd quit gobbling, I wouldn't sit there and call to him and try to make him gobble. I just sit back and hung tight, let him do his thing. I knew on this ridge I could drop off either side. There's this bottom that me and Grayson would sit up in, just right here. I knew I could, if he did try to swing the bottom, I could back off this ridge and get in front of him. If he tried to swing on top of the ridge and go around, I could swing down and get in front of him. So I knew I set up good, and I knew he was going to come back this way. Every time I've been here, the birds have never went back that way. They've always fed their way back across the cutover. So I knew if I just hung tight, be patient, he's going to come out here. Over calling gets people a lot. Because when that bird quits gobbling, they start calling, wanting to hear him gobble. But he ain't gone nowhere. Just sit tight and be patient. Alright, let's go out here and look at him. That's like, he stood right here behind this for a long time. I guess it was that stump he stood up on. At one time he stood up on that stump and looked around. But he was wanting to go back this way. And he gobbled standing right here, and I cut him off. He couldn't take it then. He come around. We'll come right up through there the way she went. Yes. Good bird. Let's get him out and look at him. Alright. I done come up here in the shade and just been kind of sitting here enjoying the moment, thinking about the hunt this morning and how it all worked out. This is my favorite kind of turkey hunt. One that takes a few days to get it done. Take a lot of planning and studying. I've studied maps of this cutover and these ridges and how this bird's been moving, and to have had one opportunity at him and let him go in hopes of getting Grayson on him. But I'm a big believer in stuff's not meant to be, and it just wasn't meant for Grayson to kill this bird. Apparently it was meant for me to get him. But I preach it all the time. Patience is how you kill turkeys. Patience, not over calling. And just kind of let the morning unfold. I kill more birds on up in the middle of the morning than I do right off the roost, just because I kind of lay back and I let the morning unfold. This bird, when he would get quiet, he was either moving or had his hands with him. When he would get fired up, he was looking. He was looking for a hen. And I mean, the hen is supposed to come to the gobbler, but I knew he was going to come to that ridge. And you can look back on this. When he come to that ridge, he topped it and looked, and he didn't see nothing. He kind of backed off a little bit. But I kind of turned my head and called. I called just a little bit, and he didn't gobble, real soft. So I didn't say nothing else. But I waited for him to gobble. When he gobbled, I cut him off. But I turned my head and I done it to make it sound like I went over the ridge a little bit to where he had to come up there. That's one thing with hunting without decoys is you don't want to be set up to where you can see a long ways. I mean, it's fun to be able to see them coming across the field or coming through some big open woods, but I want to set up to where when that bird tops that hill and I know for sure he's a legal bird, he's at gun range. So that's kind of how that setup was. I could have killed him as soon as he topped the hill, but I wanted to try to get some footage of him, so I got him to come on up the hill. But that's what he was going to do. He was going to come up to the top of that hill where he could see down the next side and look for that hen. He knew there was a hen there because he had seen her go over the ridge behind me. That's the reason I turned my head when I called, and I wanted to cut him off. It sounded like an excited hen. He gobbled. I was excited at him, and I called back to him, and that was all it took for him to come on up there to me. But giant double-bearded bird. This is the best bird that I've killed around here in a long time. He's got 2 good beards, and he's probably got 1.25 inch spurs. Some good spurs, good bird. But I'm hoping next week I get to take Kayla and Grayson to Kentucky and try to get them on a bird. It'll be Grayson's first time out of state, and I'm hoping our schedules work out and we get to do it. It's looking like we're going to, so I'm gonna hang out here for a little while and enjoy the moment, and then I got a few things I gotta do, but maybe we'll see you in Kentucky.